From Nashville, Tennessee, Inside the Noize podcast with your host, Jenna Heideman. Here's Jenna.
All right, welcome to Inside the Noize. I'm Jenna Heideman.
And I'm Katie Kaup.
And we have Adam Doleac here with us in the studio.
Hello, everybody.
Welcome.
So each week on the podcast, we start with Make Some Noise, Stop That Noise. So a good week, bad week of the last week. Adam, do you want to go?
My good week's going to be pretty obvious. I released new music last week on Friday, so 2 new songs.
Awesome.
I told everybody I was releasing new music this year, and when I said this year, I meant immediately. So the first Friday of the year, put out 2 new songs. So that was good week for me. And bad week, I would say an extended New Year's Eve, New Year's Day hangover that lasted 4 to 5 days.
Ooh, getting old.
I didn't get a hangover this year. I was very happy.
I did.
It was more of a citywide, no sunshine. I'm solar powered as a human. I need the sun to be out to be motivated
that's
most
how I am.
times. And it didn't come out for 5 or 6 days.
And you watched Netflix the whole
And I watched Netflix the whole time. So I blame Earth.
the sky.
Can I do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, Katie, you go.
Okay. My good week would be my bad week. I know my bad week off the top of my
your
head.
bad week.
So I came back from Texas last Thursday, Friday. I went to Houston and went to Dallas. One of my friends got married, so I went 9 hours to go and see that by myself.
I love Texas.
I left my dog for the first time, so that was not great because I cried for an hour. Which is weird because I don't have a soul, so it's really weird.
That is weird.
And
You do now.
yeah, I do now because I have a puppy. And then my headlight went out on my way back, and it was nighttime when I was driving back. So I was like, oh, crap. And I didn't know until one of the cops pulled me over, and the guy was not nice. And it was like a state trooper for Texas.
I feel like the Texas ones are probably
Ooh,
like
he was not nice.
worst.
I showed him everything. He was like, ma'am, do you know your headlight's out? And I was like, I didn't, but now I do, so thank you so much for letting me know. And he's like, well, do you have, like, he just reamed me a new one for no reason.
State troopers are tough normally.
And I was like, if I had my puppy, you would not be this mean. Because I got out of a ticket with Cotton one time.
Oh, wow, you're getting pulled over all the time.
I was about to say, you've been pulled over twice, and then you have a brand new puppy.
Yeah.
Maybe he shouldn't ride with you.
I'm not safe enough for it. So that was, like, bad. And then I got pulled over another 5 times after that. Because they kept telling me I went through Texas and Arkansas to get to Tennessee. And every single time I passed the cop, they decided to pull me over. And every single time I had to show my warning. I didn't get a ticket, thank God. But because I didn't know about it. So it's like, how would
Did you get it fixed now?
I literally just got it fixed 2 hours
proud
ago.
of you.
My friend Kevin went and fixed it for me. So that was a good week.
Yeah,
the fact
it was a good
that
week.
I posted on Instagram the power of the internet is that I had 60 people like
Offer.
respond back like, hey, I live in Nashville. If you need, like, people I don't even know. And they're like, hey, bring it to my house. I'm like, maybe not.
Maybe not.
But thanks so much.
That's all that counts.
So that was good.
Okay. My bad week is I asked Katie to bring me back Whataburger, and she got back with, I guess, the Whataburger, but did not inform me she brought it back, so I didn't get the Whataburger.
I spent $105 on Whataburger.
Did you know, like, before you went to Texas, I was, like, contemplating in my head, the day after New Year's, on New Year's Day, I'm like, I have the day off. I could probably drive to Texarkana. I call it Texarkana. It's Texarkana.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
I could probably drive there. It's only 6 hours, get some Whataburger, and come back to Nashville.
6 hours for
I was like,
Whataburger.
That's absurd.
Like, that'd be a really good way to start my year.
That sounds something I would do, though.
Yeah, I'm
so
like,
spontaneous.
Like, that sounds like a good way to start my year. Drive there, just get my car all fixed. Like, everything's good on it. So I'm like, little road trip, go get some Whataburger.
Well, just so you know, in the future, there's one about...
No, it doesn't count. It's not in Texas.
Oh, okay, all right.
She's a Texas girl. I don't know.
Because there's one like an hour and 15 minutes south in Alabama.
Well, I was going to go to...
This is why we're friends.
I enjoyed the drive there. There's, that's my bad week. The good week is, like, I worked at a D1, and I've been consistent. But on that, there's a D1 in Arkansas somewhere on the way to Whataburger. So I always stop and work out there. In
And then you eat
Arkansas,
your Whataburger,
then I
you
eat
don't
my
feel bad.
Whataburger when I stop at the next stop. So it's like a little like,
They cancel each other out.
yeah,
What do you get at Whataburger when you go?
the jalapeno cheddar burger. And I was told I need to get breakfast there. I haven't ever had the breakfast. I've never been there in the morning, but I heard
Whataburger?
Yeah, I heard their biscuits, their jalapeno
Honey
cheddar
butter
biscuits
chicken
are-
biscuit.
Yeah,
Hub Chub.
Someone else was saying
I told
honey
I need-
butter chicken biscuit.
yeah. I was told I need to try one of those. But I've only been there for the burgers. They're great.
I've been there more for the breakfast than the burgers.
Really?
Yeah.
One time I went there and it was someone else's first time, And I don't know why, but the staff was like, "We have a first timer!" Like everyone started clapping.
Oh, that just gave me anxiety.
Flashbacks.
And the girl looks at me, she goes, "Do they do this every time?" I'm like, "I don't think so, but this is great."
Free Whataburger for everyone.
Woo!
It's our first time.
That'd be cool. But yeah, good week, bad week.
Cool.
That's it.
That's it. Okay, so Adam, like you said, you have 2 brand new songs out on Spotify,
Yes.
all the streaming services that you could possibly think of, buy it, everything.
Mm-hmm.
How does that, I mean, obviously it feels amazing having it out, but, I mean, what was the last single that you had out? Mom and Daddy's Money, right?
Mom and Daddy's Money, yeah.
And so how has the response been between the 2 songs? Because obviously it's like they're kind of battling each other.
Yeah, they are. We did a stream where you could stream for the week before they came out to see which one kind of vote and see which one you like better, and it's been just a dead heat
Yeah.
the whole time, before they came out and after they came out. But the good news is I haven't seen a negative word about either one of them. Everyone seems to be loving both of them. And they're pretty different too. When you listen, one's got, I think you love one for one reason and love the other for other reasons, and I think that's why it's so split. But it's been really great. I've been all day, every day, responding to people on the social medias and all that stuff all
Insta
weekend.
story every 10 seconds.
Yeah,
I'm like,
it's
there
just
he is.
yeah, there's a lot, but I love it, and it's been a super great response. Spotify's been great. I think we're on 8 playlists with them.
Wow, congratulations.
Thanks. SiriusXM is playing both songs on the highway right now, so I couldn't have asked for a better release.
Yeah, and I actually did a poll
Yeah, Katie,
on
who won
my
that?
Instagram.
Who won?
Oh,
It was
yeah.
Famous.
Was it?
It was 72% Famous.
That was the one I think I voted for.
Yeah.
I would vote for that one at this current moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've changed, but Famous is my favorite right
There's
now. too.
different,
Yeah.
like you said, different
Yeah.
reasons
Yeah.
why you love different songs.
Yeah.
And I was talking to somebody, and I was telling them about how we were going to interview Adam today, and they were like, "Oh, like I want to listen to his stuff or whatever," and I was like, "Yeah, he's kind of like the country Billy Joel," because I feel like that you really showcase, like, I mean, you sent me the songs before they were out and everything, and I told you straight up, I was like, "Holy crap! Like this is what country music needs."
Yeah.
And I feel like that it's really about, for you, it's about your vocals and the lyrics, like, rather than all the other production stuff behind it. And that, for me, as a music listener and lover, is really important. So
yeah, that was something I had to learn, because when you move to Nashville, there's 5 million people that are in the music business and all trying to make it, and most of them are male men, all kind of in the same category. You know, you name a guy's name and there's going to be a country artist there. So you kind of get lost in the shuffle, and you kind of end up producing your music, try to make it as big as you can, as loud as you can, so you think people are going to love it. But really, it took me some time to figure it out. But it's all about your voice. That's your artistry right there. That sets you apart. You sound different from everybody else. People are going to notice it. And it really took me a few years to cook it down to where I wasn't worried about all the guitars on it and all that stuff, but really it's the lyric and the vocal and getting your message across with less. And, you know, the best ones do. Casey Musgraves does it really well.
Right.
Miranda Lambert. Anybody that's a big artist has their own thing, and that's how they're able to do it. So that's what I'm trying to get to.
Do you have anything to say,
Don't
Jenna?
look at me.
I was
Then it just
I
makes
go,
you
"Do you have
nervous.
anything to say, Jenna?" I just asked 2 questions. They were good questions. Your turn.
No.
Okay.
Keep going.
Oh, I'll keep going.
I'll pop it. You just.
Oh, well, and I told Jenna this also before the podcast. The first time I ever saw you, it was CMA Fest, and I was sitting at Wild Horse Saloon. And this was like 2 years ago.
2 years ago, yeah.
2 years ago. And we were in the middle, and it was just one of those showcases that they just put all the new artists on it and whatever,
Yeah.
and you don't know half of them coming out. And I didn't know Adam yet. And I remember sitting there, and I was just eating my burger or whatever I was eating, and all of a sudden he starts singing, and I'm like, who the heck? Can I curse on here?
Yes.
Yes.
Who the hell is that? I looked at my friend Raquel and my roommate now, Chelsea, and I was like, I don't know who that is, but the vocals are crazy. And I
Yeah.
just remember being like, you sang Whiskey's Fine.
Yep.
And another song.
It's crazy you remember that so well.
Because it was such like
Yeah.
it's very rare, especially CMA Fest.
Yeah.
I remember
Like,
that night too. Yeah.
yeah, and it was just one of those things, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I was a fan from there on out. Like I followed
Yeah.
him on social media and everything, and I was like kind of stalking. It's fine, but
Yeah.
I was just like
Totally
really,
fine.
when I become a fan of somebody, I really respect their art, and especially when someone just like lays everything out there.
Yeah.
And I feel like that I haven't seen you live again since then, unfortunately, but.
We've come a long way, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's incredible to see how you've grown too in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
And congratulations on all the releases
Thank you.
and everything. And yeah, Jenna, you got anything?
Oh my god.
When was the first time you ever heard of Adam?
Oh man. I don't know.
10 to 12 minutes ago.
Yeah, I just looked him up, actually. I just listened.
Well, what's your favorite song? We had the same.
We did have the same song. Mom and Daddy's Money. That's our favorite song.
Yep, that may be my favorite one I've ever written.
Really?
To date, yeah. Just because that, it's hard to get a song that connects that personally with people.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And that was, putting that song out I almost didn't put it out because it was so personal. To me, at first when I wrote it, I thought it was just like, I don't know if everybody else is going to love it because it was so me. The first line is about a red go-kart, and I grew up with a red go-kart, and, just kind of things like that. But I'm so glad I did because I still get messages, probably 1 or 2 a day from people that just, paragraphs of what the song means to them, and they go show it to their parents, and it's a really cool thing. And that's my favorite part of writing music is relating to people like that. So I'm glad that's y'all's favorite song, and they're all different, but that one I play it every night in the set, just kind of acoustic, break it down and have a moment. And one day when I'm playing stadiums, that's what I want to walk out on the runway and play the acoustic and sing that one.
But you're like in with the fans. Like
Yeah.
And I like the ending of it. It talks about how when you finally get to the point of having kids and stuff like
Yeah.
that, you want to be able to give that back. And I was like in tears.
Yeah.
It's fine.
It's fine.
I'm fine.
Everything's fine.
Really emotional. It's fine. But yeah, that's incredible. And you've definitely toured this year.
Yeah.
Not
last
this
year.
Last year.
Yeah, brand new year now.
Yeah.
But last year we were out 28 weeks in a row.
Holy crap.
So, and that's another thing I'm excited about this year is last year's touring was awesome, but I only got to put out one song. So this year, it was Mom and Daddy's Money though.
Mm-hmm.
This year we're going to be off for the first few months of the year before we get touring, and I'm planning on putting out a good bit of music. So I'm excited about it.
Are you looking towards an EP or an album coming up?
I'm not sure. I'm going to do, I just put 2 out. I'm probably going to do one at a time here for the next few months.
Okay.
Yeah.
And maybe come out with an album, maybe just kind of keep putting out songs. I don't think people really... I love albums.
Mm-hmm.
If it was up to me, I would put out a
albums.
full album, and it would be like an 8th grade mixtape.
Yeah.
And it would flow beautifully from top to bottom. But I don't know that people are really interested in albums right now because of the playlisting and how things work now. Only 1 or 2 songs is going to get the push. So you almost waste songs if you do it that way.
Yeah.
So, but I would, who knows? I hope to put out an album. That's my favorite thing to do.
So are you one of those people that listens from the album when it comes out?
Oh, yeah.
From the top to bottom?
Yes.
Basically, exactly.
Typically on a road trip.
Yep.
Or when I'm running or something, yeah.
What was the last song you listened to from start to finish? Last
album.
song.
Last album.
You know what I mean.
Ben Rector, Magic.
Ooh.
Good artist.
Good.
I've become a pretty large fan of Ben Rector.
Yeah.
Love him.
I feel like he's so underrated.
Yeah.
Like...
He's not as big as I imagined him being in my head.
Well, 2 years ago, it was like
same.
a big thing.
Yeah.
And then he kind of like, especially in Nashville, I feel like everybody talks about the new up-and-coming like singer-songwriter, and he was really big and was touring and everything, and now I think he's
kind of
writing
quiet.
again.
Yeah.
Because they've been putting out so much stuff for him. But I'm blown away by him.
His new record is incredible, and he's got a song that's not on the new record called "The Men That Drive Me Places."
I love that one.
Oh man.
That and what's Note to Self.
Yep, that's a good one.
Yep.
That's an older one.
What was the last album that Jenna that you have listened
Rustin Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
to?
I'm on a kick. It's so good. Have you listened to it?
It's a good one as well.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of the last. I have to like look at my.
Yeah. I've been on a kick with him lately.
It's not even a new album. I think it was Billy Joel's whole album. I'm so old. It's
I like this
man.
country Billy Joel thing. I may have to go with that.
Yeah.
No,
you
but
gotta
honestly,
run with it.
I always try to when you first listen to music, everybody tries to compare, like, oh, this is kind of like this person in country music, but there's literally no one that I can compare you to. So in my head, I'm
Well, that's
like,
good.
okay, which is why you stand
like
out
that,
and
yeah.
why you're doing so well. And I was just like, what is he? And then I got it, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's the honesty of, which is ironic because Billy Joel has a song called Honesty, but it's just the honesty of the lyrics, and you can tell. I mean, I feel like country listeners and music listeners in general can tell through BS basically.
Yes.
And they're like, okay, this guy is putting on like a spiel or whatever, but
Sometimes you wonder if people can see through it.
Yeah.
yeah,
But you have to hope they can.
yeah,
Yeah.
and you're killing it.
Thank
Absolutely
you.
killing it.
Let's go back and just kind of like give your backstory and how you got to Nashville and what you were doing before you came here.
Okay. I've had a pretty random assortment of life decisions. So I grew up, first of all, with 2 really great parents, which is where the song Mom and Daddy's Money came from. I kind of played all the sports. I played everything but football, never played football. And so long story short, in high school, I signed a golf scholarship before I had to Delta State to play in college, my junior year of high school. I was dead set on it. Thought that's what I was going to do. And my senior year, I remember I was playing high school basketball as well. I was on the basketball court. My friends came up and said, hey, we got a really good baseball team this year, but we need one more guy. The first game was that night. It was the day of the first game.
Oh, wow.
He can't see. He's like, we need you to play this year. Can you play? I'm like, I already got a golf scholarship. What the heck? I'll play. And so I went out there. I hit a bucket of balls in the cage, fielded a bucket at third base on the field at like 3 or 4. The game was at 7. Started in the game that night. I went to a private school, so it was a smaller school, and I could kind of get away with it. And I'd played baseball until I was like 12, 13, and quit. So from then, ended up having a really good year at baseball. Southern Miss, they were top 25 in the nation in baseball, and they offered me a scholarship at the end of the baseball year. So I figured I could play golf till I'm 90, which is true. I could still play golf. I couldn't go play baseball right now if I wanted. So I called this golf coach and I said, hey, I'm going to take a baseball scholarship. I know you don't even know that I play baseball, but I'm taking a baseball scholarship. And I did that, and that was, I guess, 2 years after that, I was playing in the College World Series.
Oh, wow.
So we went to the College World Series and played in that in 2009. And my roommates, and at this point, I've never even played music. I was a drummer my whole life. Always loved music dearly, and always will, whether I'm making it or not. But I played drums my whole life. My dad was a drummer. My older brother was a drummer. Had a drum set when I was 2. But I'd never played guitar. I'd never sang. So my junior year of college, my roommates in college that were also on the baseball team played guitar. So when they would leave, I would just kind of mess around on the guitar and teach myself. I'd get on YouTube. I think the first song I ever learned was an Amos Lee song. I love him. And so I kind of just started teaching myself, and I was scared to death to sing in front of anybody. I would sing like along with the song really loud, just like anyone would in the basement or something. And so finally, I went and booked like 4 shows in my hometown in Mississippi. And I was like, I booked them. I have to show up. I have to sing. And so I did it. And the first one I did, like 600 people showed up, made lots of money.
Oh, wow. That's an incredible turnout for your
really,
first show.
Yeah, well, I had from the baseball people, I kind of had a crowd, not for music, but for something else. And so they all showed up, and I just kind of fell in love with it and wrote 5 songs, put them on an EP, put them out into the world. The first one got like 500,000 views on YouTube. It was called Travel On. I wrote it in the Dominican Republic while I was waiting on Mom and Dad to get ready to go to dinner. It was December 29th, 2010, on my dad's birthday, I remember.
Oh, cool.
And anyway, from then I just kind of started gathering that anyone that heard me sing, their comment was, hey, you have a cool voice, you have a unique voice. Whether they like the song or not, that was always the case. And so I figured I kind of had something there. And I was traveling from Mississippi up to Nashville every other week for almost a year before I moved here. And I moved here in 2012.
That's the same year I moved here.
October 15th, 2012. And long story short, 6 years later, I made my Opry debut, October 6th, 2018.
Dang.
So it took me 6 years, but it's been a slow climb, but it's luckily been a climb the whole time I've been here.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Cool. It's quite the story. I feel like a lot of country people, country guys especially these days, are like originally baseball players, and they like switch over. I mean, Brett Young, is notorious for that, and
there's a lot of similarities in it.
And that there's a new song on his album with Gavin DeGraw called Chapters.
Love it,
and it's such a great
good
song, and it literally is talking about how he thought all this was gonna happen, but God had other plans and kind of stuff like that.
You do. I got drafted to go professional baseball as well, and I got hurt the last 2 weeks of my last 2 years in baseball, so that's kind of what kept me from doing that and going to do music instead.
So basically, if you're listening to this and you play baseball, and
you're probably
college, just see if you can play guitar.
You may end up in Nashville sometime.
You probably
if
are
you get hurt,
sing.
pick up a guitar.
There's some mathematical or scientific thing behind this, that this is like a common thread.
It's all the same rush. It's, you're playing in front of, I walked in the College World Series in front of 30,000 people.
Oh, wow.
And that's not something you forget. You walk in, all those people are going crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm essentially chasing that same feeling with a guitar instead of a baseball bat. And that's why I say there's a lot of similarities, except music, in my opinion, they're both minor leagues, if you will. Like, you have minor leagues in baseball, and you have Nashville minor leagues where you're trying to make it. But in baseball, if you hit 450 and you hit 10 home runs, you're going to get called up to the pros. If you're in the minor leagues and you're just killing it, they're going to be like, hey, come play for the pros. In Nashville, you can be the best, you can be whatever, but you still may never make it and no one may never hear of you. Right. It's timing and it's luck and it's talent and it's all of them combined, meeting at the same place and, getting lucky. That's what I kind of gather from the minor leagues of it.
Yeah. You know what baseball players drink?
What?
Water.
Hey, Jenna, did you know that 75% of your body is made out of water?
Yeah.
What water do you drink?
I only drink Defiance Fuel.
Isn't there like a code or something that...
Yeah, you can use code Noize with a Z at checkout.
I've always wanted a cheaper way of getting Defiance Fuel.
For 20% off.
Have you had Defiance Fuel before?
No, but I'm going to go get some now using code Noize with a Z at the checkout.
Yes.
Just a subtle little...
See it?
Little drop there.
He's gonna drink that Defiance.
Thirsty,
Fuel.
anyone?
Do like an ASMR thing. I'm just drinking Defiance Fuel.
Oh my gosh, I do really love Defiance Fuel. Do we want to do off the record confessions?
Yeah, if you want to. Do you have any other questions, mainly about Adam's career or music or anything? I feel like I've asked everything I could ever. I also interviewed Adam at CMA Fest. This past June.
Do you remember it, Adam? Was it a good interview or was it a bad
interview? It was a great
interview?
interview.
It was
I remember
long
it.
interview.
It was in our little cubicle in the Music City Center.
It was so bad. I got shushed in the cubicle with Chris Bandy.
You did?
Oh, man.
Well, because Chris was rapping, and there was an older lady behind us that was doing a podcast.
And she was like, shh.
And he was rapping really loud, and we were like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air or something.
I think I talked to the older lady, too. I remember her.
Yeah, and she, like, opened the thing and, like, shushed us mid-interview in Chris's face. I have it on video, and he's like, oops. And he was like, didn't mean to do that. And I was like, okay, well, we can't put two really loud people together. Cause we're both very boisterous. So.
Yeah.
Ooh, good vocabulary word. Boisterous.
Note it.
That was a good word.
I would never use it.
Okay, so off the record confessions?
Yeah, so confess something like weird or embarrassing.
You're going to start, Jenna.
Oh, man. Okay. Something
Is this
weird.
just anything or?
Anything.
Anything. It doesn't
So,
have to have
like-
a time limit or anything on it.
Okay, so I'll confess this. You guys are gonna think I'm gross, but I don't wash my hands in public restrooms. I think it's disgusting. I think the sinks are gross, and I will not wash my hands in a public restroom. One time I went on a date, and he totally knew I didn't wash my hands.
Well, okay.
Okay, so I'm never
I've
touching
got
your hands.
I've got questions.
Hand sanitizer, like wet wipes.
Oh, you have those?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just think the sinks are really gross, and there's
But
probably
they've
more.
got it to where you don't touch the sinks now.
Sometimes
They have
you
the
do, and
automatic.
it's gross. And if I have to wash, like, first few times, if you go out with me, if you don't wash your hands, I'm like, great. Like, I went to the rodeo. My roommate, shout out Peyton, didn't wash her hands in public restrooms either. I'm like, I think we're gonna be best friends. We went to the bathroom together the first time, and both looked at each other like, not washing hands. I'm like,
Do you do the whole...
girl, we friends.
You know what the
Girl, we
best
friends.
invention ever was that kick thing that goes on the door so you don't have to touch the door.
Oh yeah.
Because, like, I mean, people wash... Like, you don't... there's people like you that don't wash their hands after...
But I'm never sick. No, I'm just kidding. My immune system built up. You guys are
I
both-
saw you last night at Tin Roof Broadway, and you went to the bathroom, and I hugged you after that.
I'm not a see. That wouldn't even
See?
bother me. I'm not like a germ freak at all. Like it doesn't bother me if I've never like given someone a high five and wondered if they
I've never
Wash their
wondered that,
hands.
but
had
now
washed
I'm
their
going to
hands.
with
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe you should wonder, but I mean, you know, some people think it's gross, and other people don't care, and like some people also don't wash their hands. It's not an uncommon thing I've learned.
I go like without washing my hands sometimes for sure.
See,
Not because I'm afraid of germs, just because I don't worry about it.
you know, and like
When I-
the soap always smells funny, and I don't like the smell of the
Yeah.
soap usually.
They're building up the immune systems.
Yeah,
That's
so
all we're
I just
doing.
don't enjoy using their soap.
It's a health quality. When I
Yeah.
worked at Hit Factory, Justin Bieber didn't wash his hands.
Oh, calling him out.
Literally.
Justin Bieber doesn't have to wash
I
his hands.
was kind of disgusted, but I was like, you know what, it's fine.
You were like secretly
He
like,
walked out of the bathroom. I was like, I didn't hear the water at all, but it's fine. Like I heard him flush. That was it.
oh
I was
man.
like, wow, okay. I was like 17, so I was like, oh my gosh, scandal.
Tweeting.
Stupid.
Doesn't wash his hands.
My confession would be this is so weird. I was driving back from Texas, and I had to change my clothes while I was driving, but I didn't want to stop. So I was driving and I changed my whole clothes from head to toe. I had my bra and everything. Like
That's dangerous.
Yeah, that
it
is
was
dangerous.
so dangerous. No, but I was like Texas
Done it
is-
though. I've definitely done it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Texas was just straight like roads and there's nobody else around.
It's
Like,
straight
I
and
didn't
the
do
speed
it with
limit's
the
like
car next to me.
85.
But I was like one hand on the steering wheel, like da 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 da. I was like waiting for a cop to pull me over and tell me that my headlight was out or something, and I'm like
Half naked.
Like I literally changed.
you don't have
my, like,
pants
pants
on?
into the.
That's how you avoid a ticket. Not cotton.
Like,
Just be half naked when the cop shows up.
I'm pretty sure you could get.
Just have
Is
on no
that public
clothes.
nudity at that point if you're in
Probably.
Your
That
car?
may be another ticket.
Yeah, I feel like that somehow that's just illegal. Like distracted driving, public nudity,
It's a lot of things. Like, ma'am, will you please step out of your
headlights
car?
out. Can you step out? Like, no, I can't.
No, I can't.
I'm so sorry. I
Can't do that.
But yeah, I did everything, and I did it within like 3 minutes, so I felt very accomplished. And I like went and saw my high school best friend I haven't seen in like 5 years, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, she looks so cute." I was like, "Thanks, I just changed in the car," and she was like, "Oh," and I was like, "No," like as I was driving, because I didn't want to. Because it's like
Should have stopped at a
bar.
Buc-ee's instead.
No, I wasn't stopping anywhere. I was a girl by myself. Not, I mean, I could take anybody, but I was like, no,
No.
not happening. Not happening. Nah.
No, okay, Adam.
What's
what
your
do you got?
confession?
I'm trying to think of something. I don't keep like
Secrets?
Yeah, I don't really keep many secrets, so
That's
I'm
what I
trying
tell
to.
her every week. I say
I'm
every
trying
Insta
to think.
story. I'm
You
like,
guys,
how
there's
can I
great.
be-
Oh, I have another one.
What?
Well, maybe it'll make me think of one.
Okay, this one isn't that great, but on New Year's Eve I went out, and I went back and stayed with some friends. I was like at their house, and I'm like, I'm just gonna stay. It was like a few girls, their boyfriends. 2 of the guys are living there because their house burnt down.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm just gonna stay here with you guys. Like, whatever. I can't drive home. I don't want to Uber home. And so I was like,
Yeah, when you left me, I remember that.
yeah. So I looked at one of the guys. I'm like, do you like have a pair of sweatpants or something? He brought me a pair of sweatpants. I couldn't get them past my knees. I couldn't get them up, and I'm like, what kind of man wears Chinese
Wow.
sweatpants?
Were they like kid sweatpants?
There's no
He's
point of
just-
sweatpants
he's
if
just
they're.
Even a small would
He's
fit
just
you.
skinny. I don't know. He must be really skinny because they didn't go up.
Were
And
they
then I'm like,
Adidas? Were they meant for aunties?
they don't know. But I was like, you wear these? Like, do these fit you? And then I was like, should I be embarrassed I can't fit in your sweatpants?
Oh my gosh.
And
That's
then
weird.
Then he gave me a pair of shorts and they were tied to. I'm like, I don't think they're supposed to fit
They
like
should
this.
be huge.
They should be big. Like, no matter like what kind of guy you are, I feel like
You should have bigger sweatpants than you are.
yes.
Yeah.
And they were so tiny. They didn't go like they literally didn't go. I'm like, I was like laughing. I'm like, guys, these aren't going on. They're not going up.
Did you wait? So what did you wear?
He gave me a pair of shorts and they were tight too. And really uncomfortable. And I'm like, I might as well just wear my jeans.
To sleep in? Oh, it's like the worst thing ever.
The shorts were kind of tight. They were bad too.
So
But whatever. It's fine.
you got any confessions over there, Adam?
I'm trying to think of things. I've got a bit of a shoe problem.
You're a shoe.
You got some nice shoes
sneakerhead?
on right
I'm
now.
a shoe. I don't know.
Connoisseur.
Yeah, I love shoes. Yeah, these are Nike Hirachis. They're pretty new. I bought 3 pairs when I bought these.
Okay.
That's my shoe problem. That's a confession for sure. I've got a closet full of shoes.
Okay.
It's like half the girls in America.
So does Ferranti. You guys need to talk. He has a good shoe collection.
Yeah, I
He's
love
got a-
shoes. Like I like dressing very basic except for shoes and jackets.
Yeah.
Yeah, jackets are my thing.
Yeah, I love them.
A good jacket can get you.
I'm into cowboy hats right now.
Nice.
I have spent $400 on cowboy hats in the last. since
Wow.
I went and worked the rodeo, and all of a sudden, I own a cowboy hat.
And she wears it out everywhere we go.
It looks cute. I got a compliment
Hey,
on it last
do whatever,
night.
Do whatever your heart desires. Your little tiny heart desires.
I'm
Oh my
kind of
God.
with you though. So you probably wore it, like, loved it, kind of felt comfortable in it, something new, and then you're like on it for
I'm
a little
on it.
while.
That's
She's
just my
that-
I'm that way
personality.
too.
That's
I get
her
stuck on
Enneagram
something.
I'm that way too.
And I'll be obsessed with it.
Like I'm never gonna buy one pair of Hirachis. Or like one sweater that I like I will get like 4 different colors
Yeah.
or 4 different pairs,
And you're set.
and then I rock it for a while and I stay on it.
Same.
Yeah.
Same.
I
I'm
feel
on
your
this hat
pain.
kick right now.
But I do like the fact that you're so comfortable in it.
Yeah.
I feel like it's like your alter ego. It's like your cowgirl.
Well, you're
part.
probably almost more comfortable in it because of the
Yeah.
alter ego-ness
Yeah,
of it.
and,
I love my
and
hat.
it's also cool because it like you stand out. Like you're the girl with the cowboy hat. Nobody in Nashville like girls that walk around with a cowboy hat.
Not
True.
It's all
And it's-
snapback.
no one that lives here.
It's not too
Yeah.
Western.
The ones that are here for the weekend do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bachelorettes.
Yeah.
It's
They
not.
have the pink cowboy.
Yeah.
hat.
But these are like legit hats. And
Yeah,
they,
they're thick.
They have some other ones that aren't so like Western, that are a little more like fashionable, and I might get one of those too. We'll see how it goes.
You should.
But I like the Western one right now.
I have
Got
a
two of the
feeling
same
you're gonna
color.
get one. Yeah.
It's fine. They had a sale on the
I
second
feel like
one.
you're gonna get Spurs the next thing that we know.
Yes.
No, I
Can you
guess.
please make an intro video for Inside the Noise with like you know the Western music? I
Yes,
can't even
like
do
a
it.
steel guitar.
And it's like, and you just see a tumbleweed go past.
Yeah.
It's
Yes.
like all of Cotton's hair.
Yes.
Tumbleweed in past.
We'll just tumble Cotton. We'll just roll Cotton
He's brown.
out.
It works.
Yeah. I don't know.
Cool.
Get
Dang it,
some
I'm
more
slow
hats.
on the draw, but I was gonna get you some western music going real quick.
Dang.
Oh, dang it.
Spotify.
No, I'm not even in Spotify.
Oh, where are you at?
Do we
I'm
have
in-
any
I'm in
fan
my own
questions from
songs.
there?
I'm in my own songs.
Emily, do you have any questions over there?
Yeah, we have
have
a viewer in the audience.
Hold on,
Do you
western
have any
music.
special questions for Adam Doleac?
Western music coming. Yeah. Cowboy hat music.
Not copyright.
This should be out soon.
If I keep drinking you in, I might not be
You
able
tried
to
the Noize
stop.
exclusive.
Be able to stop.
All right, that's all we get for now, though.
Okay. I'm
Okay.
waiting for it.
What's that song about?
It's called Habit Like You.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of confessions and bad habits, yeah.
Your current girlfriend or a past? Is it like about a girlfriend?
It's more of a the girl you shouldn't be with, but you are.
And you
Okay.
can't stop them because they're like a bad habit.
They're like a drug.
Yeah. Yeah.
Speaking of drugs, no, I don't do drugs. Don't look at me like that. We all know I don't do drugs. I was at Play, the dance bar,
Yes.
in Midtown, whatever, and on Saturday night, and a girl came up to me in the girls' bathroom and was like, "Hey, this is really embarrassing, but like this is like a confession." Like she goes to me and she's like, "Do you have any blow?" And I laughed at first because she said it so nonchalantly, and I literally looked at her and I was like, "What?" And she's like, "Cocaine." And I was like,
White girl.
no, but even no, I just don't know how to respond to that. And I was so uncomfortable.
I wouldn't have known how to respond.
I
either.
just left Sam in the bathroom because I was like, I don't know how to act and say, like, I don't know.
I don't either.
I don't do illegal things, and I was like, oh my gosh, like,
What is this?
I was like, I don't know what to do with my hands. I don't know.
That happens all the time in bathrooms.
Oh my gosh.
Really
it
does.
Really?
Yeah. I don't
Does
do.
it?
I'm not a drug person either, but
Oh, she did it, and I was like, I lived in Miami my whole life. I worked in pop R&B, all this stuff. Never been asked if I had any like hard drugs. I was like, I've been asked if I had weed, and I'm like, no, I don't smoke weed. But cocaine in Nashville, in a girl's bath, like with like 50 people around, I was like, no. Is this like a? Am I
like
being
it was a
punked?
pack
You're like,
of
is this a
M&Ms.
setup? Am I
Hey,
gonna
do you
get
have any
arrested?
blow?
Yeah, I was like, and at first
Shouldn't
I
you
thought
have
she
whispered
was
that?
joking. I thought she was joking, so then she like looked at me like I was crazy, and I was like, because I
You're the
laughed at
crazy
her,
one.
and I was like, oh, you're serious? Like, got it. And she was kind of,
Got it.
and I was like, no, I don't, sorry. And then like I ran and I left Sam.
I ran.
And I told Sam, I said, meet me out by the bar. Like, we need to go. Like, I'm scared. I was so
man.
like, even now talking about it, I'm like shaking, so it like made me so anxiety stricken. So bad. Oh, goody two shoes.
Oh man.
You got any more questions?
I don't.
audience?
Where are you performing live next?
Oh yeah.
Where am I performing live next?
Oh, he said he's off for a couple months.
I'm off for a couple months. I've got some private shows that I'm gonna do. I'm trying to think of what the next one will be.
Do you play your new music?
Oh, you know what? I don't know where it's gonna be yet, but we are gonna do a Nashville show,
Oh,
either
yeah.
February or March to kind of kick the year off. So
Where's my birthday month?
that'll be the next show I do. I bet it'll be the one in Nashville.
Cool.
23rd. That's a Saturday, February.
February
She's like,
23rd.
do it on
She
my
did February
birthday.
23rd. Okay.
Just so you know, subtle hint.
Do you play your unreleased music out?
Yeah.
And is that
we
kind of
do.
how you decide on what you're gonna release next? Or
Yeah,
like
so
response?
I write for
Or is that
Sony here in
response?
town, and so I write literally a song every day. I wrote one before I came here, and I get my favorites, go out on the road, play them for people, watch the crowd's reaction, and if they love them, then that's kind of how I decide what to record.
And when you walk into a songwriting room, do you already have, I mean, I know everybody's songwriting process is different. Do
Yeah.
you already have like a set, okay, I thought about this the other day or whatever, like a song title, or do you already have most of the song written and they just kind of help you?
Yeah, I
If you do it
normally
right.
normally I don't have most of it written, but I'll have an idea.
Okay.
I'm more of an idea person than a music person. And most of the time when I'm writing, there's like a track guy in the room, so he'll be over there and kind of working on the music, and I'll be working on the lyric. But I try to always have at least some type of something when I go in. And then some days you go in with absolutely nothing and get lucky and you write something awesome. They're just all different. Famous, for example, I wrote with two other guys in probably couple hours. It fell right out. Puzzle of Us was me and one other person, and it took us 2 days, like 4 hours a day. It took like 8 hours to get.
Oh, wow.
So you just kind of never know how they're going to pop out. But you can always tell, for me anyway, immediately when they're done, like, that's going to be a good one, or I'm going to like that in a year. Because normally you don't put them out until normally at least a year after your item. It takes a long time because you got to walk around and see who likes them, and if you got to show all your friends and get all your opinions and all that stuff, and then go record them, and then they got to come out. Like Puzzle of Us is an older, several years old.
Oh wow!
And the funny thing about that song, that's most of the times you produce it. That's actually my band was on the road. We had an off day, and we found a studio and recorded it live.
Where at was that?
In Mississippi.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So that's just my band live in a room that has 0 Nashville musicians on it, no Nashville-ness at all. It's just raw and real, and I think that's what people like about it.
Yeah.
And what do you like better, Miami Beach or Vegas?
Vegas.
Vegas.
Yeah.
Why?
I love gambling.
He has a problem.
There's another confession.
Oh my gosh.
I could play blackjack all day and night.
I was in Vegas all December. I didn't gamble once because I didn't know how. I was so overwhelmed.
I can teach you.
I need someone to teach me, like, to take me and be like, this is how you do it.
But I do love the beach. Very much. Just not Miami Beach.
Yeah, no. Miami Beach is bad.
I like quieter beaches.
I like Melbourne. Have you been to Melbourne Beach? Like
No.
in Melbourne, Florida?
No.
That, Sarasota,
What's that
Pensacola.
near? I go to Pensacola all the time.
Pensacola's all the way up north. But Melbourne is by like Cocoa Beach.
Okay.
It's so nice.
Yeah, I bet.
So nice. That and Deltona and like Daytona. Daytona's nice when it's like not.
Is there a Deltona?
Yeah, that's where it's the ratchet version of Daytona.
Oh wow.
I lived there for like 6 months.
I got you. Okay.
Oh, man.
Yeah. I lived in Miami originally, Fort Lauderdale, Melbourne, Cocoa Beach a little bit.
All over
Deltona,
Florida.
Orlando, and then finally moved. I lived in Atlanta and then moved here. It was
How did you like Atlanta?
Atlanta was interesting because I worked in pop R&B, so it was very.
It's like the mecca for that.
Yeah,
huh?
it was cool, but I worked with an artist who was underage, so everything I tried to get him to do, I had told his family, and I was like, let's not go to Atlanta because we built like a really solid core fan base in Florida and stuff. Like he was shutting down malls in Orlando. Like we would tweet that we're there, and he would like 500 kids would come, and I'm like, what is this? And they moved him to Atlanta thinking that would be the next step. And when they moved him, he was 19, and I was like, he's not gonna be able to go anywhere, do anything.
Yeah.
He's gonna be in bed by like 9. I'm like, come on, like it's just not. And I wasn't even of age yet. I was 20. So when I moved here, I was purposely not moving here until I turned 21 because I was like,
Gotta
I
get
wanna
that
be
kid a
American
fake
still.
ID.
Yeah.
His parents were really, really like, meh. So, really, really like attached to like controlling everything. And I'm surprised. I mean, he still lives with his parents, and he's 22 now. So
Oh wow.
I don't see him going that far.
That's all right.
It is what it is, but I did love Atlanta. It's interesting because once I hit away from Florida, you realize how different the world is. Because Florida is literally a 7.5 hour drive just for me to get out of Florida.
Yeah.
Because from the south.
Yeah.
And I hit Georgia and people were nice, and I was like, what do you
is
want?
And the Panhandle of Florida people are nice too.
Yeah, but it's like you have to get north, north of Orlando. Like once you hit Orlando, because it's Disney World, so everybody's like, oh yeah. Everybody like.
Yeah, they care less the further south you go.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, definitely. Okay.
All right, Adam, where can everyone follow you?
It's just Adam Doleac on Instagram, or you can always go to adamdoleac.com, and that takes you to any of the sites. But any variation of Adam Doleac Music will be the tag on any socials.
What's your favorite social media platform?
I would say Instagram.
Yeah.
That's the one that I'm most active on, and you can see the most of my life on.
Do you ever get any weird DMs?
Yes.
I feel like everybody does.
You're not doing good if you don't get weird DMs. You got to get weird DMs.
That's right.
It's true.
They're always a good laugh.
We'll have to make a segment of
We
like
need
weird
people to
DMs.
come read their DMs. That's what we need.
Yeah,
to
like
do.
what was the mean
Or,
tweets?
like,
you could
do
do
you
you could
ever-
do weird DMs
Do you
instead.
guys ever look at your Facebook and like have your memories come up and like read them?
I don't have a Facebook.
Oh, well,
I have a
guys,
music page Facebook, but I don't have a personal Facebook.
In my life, are you ready for this? 10 years ago,
Oh, gosh.
I was
I didn't even have
my
Facebook
status on
10 years ago.
Facebook was is watching The Notebook and just thinking.
Well,
I was
several
like-
things about that. You remember when we used to do that? You didn't start your sentences.
You
Facebook
just-
did for you. So
Yeah.
like your name
So-
is
So
start.
Jenna is watching The Notebook and just thinking,
Yeah.
like, maybe I'll do that again
Wait,
today.
how do you look at your memories?
10-year anniversary.
Oh, wait.
Watch watch The Notebook and just start thinking.
I want to see. Okay, wait.
It's so embarrassing looking
I may
at
do that
them.
tonight.
Or like, you're watching The Notebook
Yeah.
and just think.
Here, wait. I'm gonna see how far mine
Yeah,
goes.
the worst are like AIM messages.
Oh, yeah.
January 7th,
AIM.
January 7th of 2011, 8 years ago, I said, looking for things to do in New York, exclamation point, that side smiley face with no emoji. It's just a side smiley.
5 jillion exclamation
17
points.
comments, but one person liked it.
Nice.
No.
And then another one is a song that says, Hi, Kate, and it's a song that my friend wrote on an iPad note. And, like, you see how old that iPad is?
Like, it's
awesome.
so
It's like Gen
embarrassing
1.
going back and looking, but it was funny.
What about AOL email addresses?
I used to use
That'd
Yahoo.
be a good segment.
Yahoo Messenger.
Drama Queen XO.
Mine will always be JB Got Much Swag with 2 G's.
Oh my
Nice.
gosh.
Not Jonas Brothers, Justin Bieber.
Nice.
There's this hot cherry chick, 18.
See, this is how you really get to know folks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is
Yeah.
true.
Oh man. That's
Okay,
embarrassing.
Jenna, where can we follow you?
You can follow me at J Heidemann, which Katie told me I need to change. It's fine.
Branding.
Branding.
But yeah, and then Katie, where can people follow you?
Mine's just Katie Kaup. It's my name. Just
Your name?
KATIEKAUPP.
Kalp. I was wondering how to say that.
The first time
If
I
you
Kaup.
say it really angrily, like an angry German person, then you really understand it more.
the first
Okay.
time
Like
I had to say her name, I was so nervous. I was like, how do I say your name?
everybody says Kaup, Kelp.
I get Doleac a good bit.
How?
I don't know. Mine's you just sound it
Dole-E-A-C.
out. Doleac. It's really
I
easy.
can see if they think that there's a K there, like the AK instead of a C.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't understand.
That's
that.
just spelling though. That's not.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I wouldn't understand.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then you can follow us with Inside the Noise,
With
Inside
a
the Noise
Z.
with a Z.
Make sure you rate, review, and subscribe on iTunes.
And the Defiance Fuel code, if you guys do want to grab that, because you know your body is 70 or I think the world is 70. I don't know. I'm probably getting that stat wrong.
Yes.
But
It doesn't water bloat you or make you sloshy. It just hydrates you really well.
And the code for that is Inside the Noise with a Z. If you guys would like to purchase that. Yeah. So we look forward to seeing you guys next week, or actually Thursday.
Thursday.
Yeah.
2 this week.
2
We got
every
2 a
week now.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Like
Cool.
2 a days, but we're doing
2 a
2 a
day.
week. Let's go. Okay, well, we'll talk to you guys next week, and thank you guys for hanging out, and thank you, Adam.
Of course. Bye bye.